Welcome to Rainy Tuesdays, a podcast by four friends, by friends, by friends, for friends. We haven't said it in years. I don't know. I'm here with Adam and Ryan.
Howdy.
Hi there.
Hey, how's it going?
Yeah,
Pretty good.
going fine. School just started today for me, so
Oh, nice.
A legal
back into
way.
it.
Yeah,
Okay.
very exciting.
And in person. Oh,
Yes.
fully in person. I mean, with masks, but fully in person,
Sure.
which is kind of bizarre. And
Does it feel like studious? Do you feel like a real law student now?
Or I
does it feel any
guess
different at all?
I don't know if it feels any different.
hmm
We'll have to see once I actually have more than one day.
Sure.
But it feels pretty much the same.
Is
Fair.
everyone dressed like lawyers?
Oh yeah.
No, I don't know if that's a thing elsewhere, but I kind of expected people to be dressed nice, and people are just dressed like any college student. So you get the full range of like people who look like they just woke up and rolled out of bed, and even on the very first day, like I expected some kind of dress up, and nope.
Yeah.
I wonder like how many law schools are like that, because like the one that I was going to go to, everyone was like business casual. You got to wear business casual to
Oh,
class,
weird.
like kind of thing. So
Huh.
yeah.
Yeah, that's
Whole
bizarre.
time.
No one's at the level of business casual at all.
Okay, yeah.
So it's maybe like nicer casual is the max,
Right.
but for the most part, people look like they just rolled out of bed.
Fair.
Gotcha.
Yeah. What a world. Ryan, you start your senior year this week.
I know. I'm currently living in denial about that. Like
Oh,
every
fair.
time I think about it, it's like, oh shoot, that's like a few days away. I'm
Yeah.
not ready for that. Just been doing other
It's
stuff all
happening.
month, and then it's
Right.
like, oh, I got this too. I guess I can throw that on the plate.
Oh man, fair. Yeah. What a world. Good stuff though. Do you guys have any classes that you're like particularly excited for?
I've got my capstone project, which is like a whole year
Ooh,
thing. My
yeah.
professors keep emailing about it of like, hey, here's an idea for something. It's like I've not had time to look at any of these, but I will eventually, and I have to choose by like September 2nd. So
Right. It's very funny to me talking about capstones with like non-LAS majors, because it's wildly different like in LAS of like even each of the majors, like history and like political science and philosophy, are all like wildly different as far as what you do for capstones, or if you have to do anything at all. Which for political science you don't. You just take a senior seminar and you're like, that's it, that's the capstone.
dang.
I had to write a very large paper for history.
Right. Yeah. In philosophy, it's similar to that. Yeah. But I was joking with one of our other engineering friends, and I was like, you should build a roller coaster in the middle of the quad. Because I feel like that's a really good engineering capstone.
That would
Right?
be so fun.
It would be great. Like, how cool. It could go like through our buildings. Like, whoa.
Go through some of
fun.
the sculptures.
Yeah,
That'd be
that'd
really
be
cool.
sick. I think it would really have a draw to our school that it just doesn't have right now.
Absolutely. If I was applying to colleges and there was a college that had a roller coaster, no matter how lame the roller coaster is,
Yeah.
even if it's super slow and rickety, if
Like
there's a
one of
roller
those little
coaster
like
at all,
dragon ones.
Yeah.
The
Like,
one that just
still.
goes in a circle. Yeah.
Yeah.
but
That's still sick.
that is awesome.
I was gonna say if it goes through buildings, I think that'd be cool for one day, and that would just get annoying.
I'd be
it would
so into
certainly
it.
get annoying,
Yeah.
but it would be amazing.
It's kind of like the bells. Like, I know a lot of people who get really annoyed with the bells at our school, but I love them. I think it's so fun. Like hourly, we have like the dun dun dun
Oh,
dun.
We
At
sure
noon,
do.
they play like
Yeah,
bells,
yeah. I
or
like
like
it.
the thing on the top of the hall, and then also hourly the church bell rings.
I like
Right.
it. It's cool.
It's fun, and that's how I tell time. And so I don't
Yeah.
understand.
You
I feel
also-
like a medieval peasant, and it's fun.
Yeah.
And as evidenced by my lack of reaction, you can't hear them when you're
Yeah.
in the dorms.
In the building, yeah. You have to be outside.
Yeah. Outside though, it's both great and not great because I'll be walking to class and be like, "Oh, the bells are going off. I'm late."
I'm late. Yeah, fair. Oh man, and you run up like 4 flights and you're like, I'm here. Lord, what a
The
world.
bells told me it was time.
I was summoned. Oh Lord. What a good time. I think that schools should start doing that though, like not just roller coasters, but like just attractions. Like they should really start selling it. And I think it'd
You
be
know
great.
what? Get rid of stairwells, get a Ferris wheel.
Yeah. With Ferris wheel that would take you up to your class and you just jump in the window, that's great. Oh, love it.
What if the whole college is flying like Bioshock Infinite?
All I thought of was Sky High.
Oh, like Sky High, yeah.
Oh man, that'd be great. Yeah.
That would be
Oh,
amazing.
yeah. I think we need just more fun in the world, and
Yeah.
that's the way to do it.
You know, we're all living
I
in this capitalist hellscape. We need some kind of diversion.
might as
More
well make
fun
it
than
entertaining.
fraternities.
Yeah, see that's the thing is it's like you have like an entire street full of frat houses and sorority houses and like who needs that when you could instead have like a petting zoo.
Right, that's fraternities, sororities, gross. Been there, done that. You know what we
Yeah,
haven't
we're
done? A
over
petting
it.
zoo within the community. Do you want to just be
Yeah.
walking to class and a goat pops up next to you and starts chewing on your shoelaces? Oh, of course you do.
Exotic.
So what are colleges doing? They're giving all this money to Greek life when they could be investing in our local farm animals.
Yeah.
Free petting zoo.
Yeah, like just make it fun. Oh Lord, what a time! Like, our school does a thing where they'll have a movie showing in the pool. So like you get like floaties and stuff, and you can all like hang out in the pool and watch a movie that's like projected onto one of the walls,
Mhm.
and that's fun. Like that's just a
That's
fun
pretty
thing
cool.
that you could do, and it's like there just needs to be more things like that, you know, like not just once a year.
Yeah.
It's always it does annoy me though, but also like I get it, but I'm mixed on it. Is that they only do like water movies? Like the only two that I remember them doing were Jaws and then Baywatch.
They
I
also
thought
did
they did.
Moana.
Yeah, they did Moana.
Oh, okay, yeah, fair. What a time.
Understandable.
I mean, what kind of movie do you want to watch? Like one where people
I
are
don't
in a
know.
desert?
Well,
Watch like an intense drama, like Schindler's List in the pool.
Soap opera.
this is why I'm like mixed on it, right? Is because it's like I get it. I get that it's like a theme, but it's also like I don't want to think about sharks while I'm in water. Like, you know, don't show me Jaws.
I was gonna say though, you know, our pool at campus is not very big.
It's
So
not. Yeah, not
if
many
there's a
people can
shark in
go.
there, I'd be impressed, honestly.
Oh, another thing that I loved is we did Battleship for one of the intramural competitions, which was everyone was in canoes, and then you just tossed water at the other canoes to try to sink their canoe, and then you'd sink to the bottom of the pool and die. And it was fun, and I won, so I'm alive.
I
Yeah.
always wanted to do that, and then when we finally signed up, I got sick day of and couldn't do it.
No. It was really funny. So like my team, it was like a mix of like sporty people and then people who didn't care, right?
The perfect
Which is
combination.
absolutely, which is why we were C League. And it was really hilarious because this was like a homecoming competition, so it's a ton of different things, and we were all picking like who's gonna do what sports, and they were like the people who don't care because y'all are all like under 150 pounds and not these big sporty guys. Like you do the thing that requires you to be like tiny, and so we were like, yeah, we'll all just sit in this canoe and purely beat JROTC guys who are throwing a lot more water at us, but they're just bigger. So like, it was easier to sink them. Very fun.
Hot take for intramurals. Intramurals are not fun if you care about what happens.
Yeah.
You ruin it for everybody else. Like people who got mad when they were losing or something happened in intramurals, I'd be like, you're doing intramurals. What do you think is going to happen?
This is the lowest stakes
This is
competition.
Yes.
But, like,
It literally
also,
could
I
not
wanna
get
point
lower.
out- I want to point out that y'all were in a team and I was in a team, opposite teams. Bit of a beef there.
Because you
but,
didn't join the rest of your friends on our team for some reason.
I'm sorry, I had other friends and y'all were a staff team and I wasn't on your staff.
You were honorary staff. You couldn't have been on it.
The bottom line is I had a team with people who I was equals with. And but like we were all in the same league, which was C League. C League intramural, which means we're not even good at not being good at sports. So it's like anyone in our league who was like aggressive or angry about the sports, I had no respect for. There was this one football guy who like beat me in the face because he was like trying to get past me, and I had like a bloody nose and a bloody lip, and I was like, who cares that much? Like, I was just like, I'm just shocked. Like, why do you care that much? There was girls in the softball, like, so the women's softball league that I did. Some of the I won't call the specific sorority out because I don't want to like alienate a sorority, but like there was one
So just
sorority
picture
that,
the sorority you know, and it was probably them.
right. Picture the sorority that you don't like, it was them. But like they kept like calling us fat and like being mean to us like while we were playing, and they were like laughing at us when we would like play, and it was like, girls, C League. Like, you're not good either. Like, what are you doing? And it's like also like it was just rude. It was just like, why? Like,
Yeah.
like stop. I don't know. I don't have respect for people who care about sports in C League intramural.
Yes, absolutely. I was gonna say too, I feel like there's a level of caring, and that level needs to
Sure.
remain at the same level.
Yeah.
So if one person starts caring more, then someone has to
Right.
care less. And
Care
that person
less.
is me. If someone's caring a lot, I instantly care way less. This happened once. We did like a flag football, and some members of our team were getting very unhappy with refs' calls and caring a
Your team
lot
was
about what
intense.
happened. And
Your
as
team
that
was
happened,
intense.
yeah, as this high level of caring, someone's got to compensate, and so I stopped caring at all.
I'm
like,
right there with you. I had two men on my team who were like a hit or a miss, and sometimes they'd care a lot, or sometimes they'd like vibe, right?
Mhm.
Whenever they cared a lot, if they ever even thought about passing the ball to me, I was like, don't you even dare. Like, I will just immediately hit it to the ground. I won't even try. Like,
Yeah,
I
I'm
was
gonna
like,
I'm gonna
we
do
will
some
not waste
running.
this energy.
I'm gonna do some running. Maybe I'll stand in front of
Yeah.
someone. That's that.
If they have the ball and they're close to me, will I try? Sure. But like, will I like run after them? Oh my god, that's a lot. Like,
I don't want to get too deep into sports talk on the only episode we've ever talked about sports.
yeah,
But
this is a sports podcast.
This is a
We
sports
talk about
podcast now.
sports.
We're sports people. But this is part of the reason I don't like football, is because for some reason, anytime you play football with people who are amateurs, it instantly rises to that level where they care just so
Yeah.
much. And other sports don't have that, and I don't know why.
No.
So
And,
I
like,
dread playing football because I already don't enjoy it. If you enjoy football, like playing, I'm impressed because it is dreadfully boring to play. I don't know what you're doing except standing there. But
I have one.
somehow people get
Yeah.
so angry over nothing, and you're like, how you've taken a sport that is not fun to play and made it even worse.
Absolutely. I have two thoughts on this, and one of them will be a wonderful transition. You'll be so proud of me. It'll be amazing.
I hope it's the second thought.
It is, yeah.
Okay.
I'm gonna transition and then come back. But yeah. So first thought is just that it's like, yeah, I don't understand why like anyone would ever care too much in flag football, especially. Like, I can't stress enough how like flag football is already supposed to be less of a game, and then like
Football?
it's intramural, yeah, than football, and like it's supposed to be like the chill version, and then it's intramural, so it's not even like a competitive version of a chilled down version, and then C League, so it's bad at a non-competitive version, and so it's just a lot. And like whenever that guy like hit, so it was me and then one other girl on my team that he just like plowed into us, and we were both like she was put on concussion watch, and it was like, no one should be on concussion watch from this type of game. Like, that's ridiculous, sir. It was the whole world. But my theory, and this is the second thought, is that I think because football is viewed as such a masculine sport, people tend to get aggressive with it, and they tend to think, oh, we need to prove ourselves more with football versus other sports. And it's like stupid, and I hate it because it didn't get that, like it never got competitive in the women's league for flag football. Like it was
Mhm.
always treated as the rest of the way that like so there was the mean sorority and they were mean to us, but then everyone else was still like, like it was the same as any other sport.
Yeah.
But as
Everyone
soon
knew
as
they were in C League.
right, yeah, but as soon as it was co-ed, it was like a lot. And like the guys on my team too, who like most of them were chill. Some of them would get like really intense about it. And it was like this is ah. One time I broke nails during my nails came off during football and I was like, never again, guys. I'll just be here supporting you.
I'll
It's
sit on
not
the
worth
bench.
broken nails. Like oh my god. Yeah, it was sad. Like 3 of them came off. But yeah, so the transition is that men get aggressive and I don't like it. And we're gonna talk about men. Killed it.
Well done.
Mhm.
Thank you. The thought that I had for this episode was very loose and very non-specific. Of just that sometimes men are toxic.
Quite a bit, yeah.
We have a
Pretty
largely
often.
female base.
Yeah.
Yeah. So I just want to rant about it. Oh my god. Yeah.
And I'm
The
always
biggest-
down to bash men. So
Of course.
Mhm.
Yeah. I don't trust a man who think I don't trust a man. I don't trust a man who thinks that men are inherently good. Yeah, the whole time. But okay, so the first thing that I wanted to talk about, because I've had like 3 friends come in contact with men like this in the past, like this summer alone.
Yeah.
And it's not my favorite. Is guys who only are nice to girls who they want to have sex with.
Also
Why do they
known
do
as
that?
a nice guy.
Also known as a nice guy. That's the thing. Is like some of them
Yeah.
aren't even nice though, but it's the same thing.
It's the like pretending to be nice. So you're only nice if you want something, and that one thing you want is sex. So
Right.
they'll like be nice to try to get that, and if
Mhm.
they don't get it, they're like, "Why didn't you give this to me? I was nice to you."
And like it comes in a lot of different forms. So
Mhm.
like I've had it happen where like there was this guy that I thought we were like gonna be friends and it was gonna be fun and it was like sick. But then like everyone was telling me like, oh, I think he likes you, I think he likes you, I think he likes you, and I'm like, I don't think he does because he hasn't remotely implied that. And then he started dating like another girl after I had like it was like a month after we had had a conversation about he wasn't like, hey, I like you, but it was like I was just talking to him about like I'm not really interested in dating anyone right now because like I'm not into it right now. Like I'm
Mhm.
not at a place where I want that. And then like a month later, he started dating a girl, and I have not heard from him since. Like I've reached out and been like, "How's it going? Like what's up?" And then he was just like radio
Radio
silence.
silence. Oh.
And it's like, oh, well, that sucks. I thought we were like friends. And then there was like another time where a guy that I was friends with for years like started to have feelings for me and did like this whole big like grand gesture thing that he kept saying was a friend thing. And so I was like, wow, what a cool friend thing because I should trust this person who's
Mhm.
my friend. And then like a month after it, he was like treating me like shit and he was like,
Oh.
just kidding. I thought I liked you. And I was like, so that wasn't a friend thing? Like, yeah, but like it's happened to a lot of my friends lately where it's like some guy will just stop talking to them as soon as like the girls are like, I'm not really into you like that, but like I want to be friends. It's like I understand to a level being like, I need a little time if you like had a crush on someone. But like to then just be like, oh well, fuck you. I don't want to talk to you anymore. Like,
Yeah.
Yeah,
what's
that's
that about?
horrible.
I-
It's so
It's
entitled
interesting
too.
Two
go ahead,
ways.
Brian.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, I was gonna say it's interesting in 2 ways because like you definitely have those guys that like might be interested in a girl, if the girl's not interested, just like
Mhm.
ignore. And I think
Right.
it's very different from the very like angry reaction of like, oh well,
Yeah.
you're just a bad person and no one likes you, so it's like reaction. It's like, where does that
Right.
come from? There's some guys
Oh
that's like,
yeah.
oh well, like that person's uninterested. Yeah, just take the time and like just don't hang out with that person. And I feel like that's very different from the like very
Absolutely.
volatile reaction.
Yeah, and it's just like it's also I've seen it happen where guys that I knew would be like kind of rude to me and like some of my friends, but then really nice to one girl that they like were interested in kind of thing. And it's like so you just like don't respect a woman unless you want to be with her kind of
Yeah.
thing. And that's what we call a red flag.
And I think it's interesting too because it's like, why are they doing that? Is they thinking like if they get angry, like the girl would be interested?
Yeah,
It's like
Right.
no,
it
or
doesn't
is it
make
just
any
like an
sense.
anger issues thing?
Yeah, it is.
I think it's
And
got to be an anger issue thing.
Mhm.
yeah.
I don't mean to psychoanalyze these people
Yeah.
because
Let's
I
do
don't
it.
understand at all.
Deep
But
dive.
it's just so weird to me when people like get instantly angry when someone doesn't return their affections, especially like because in some instances maybe it's like a friend, like you've been friends for a while and maybe they had like some mistaken belief that it was returned, but
Sure.
you see it a lot for when someone sends something unsolicited and then they're like, no, I'm not interested, and then they like get
Yeah.
super angry in return. It's like you don't
And
even
they're like,
know this
"Weird."
person.
Yeah.
Like
Right. Yeah.
why are
It's
you angry at them for not liking you when they don't even know you?
Yeah.
yeah. And then it's also like it's very weird to me. Like there's been times where I've liked someone and they didn't like me back. And I've been like I've put myself out there and I've been like, hey, I like you. Like,
Mhm.
would you want to like go on a date or something? And they said no. And at no point did I say, well, you're a horrible person anyway. I didn't like you. You're gross. Are you kidding me? Ew. Like, I've never done that. Like, I've always
Mhm.
been like, okay, well, we'll still be friends. Because, like, why wouldn't we be? Like, why would I have had any interest in you if I didn't, like, want to talk to you?
Right? It's so weird. People, I'll see this a lot. People posting like screenshots of this online of
Mhm.
someone like, I'm interested, and it's not
Yeah.
worded as nicely as that, but I'm
Right.
interested.
Yeah.
And then the girl is like, thanks, but no thanks. And
Mhm.
then it's like, well, you're super ugly anyways. It's like,
I
what are you
know.
doing? Why?
It's like such a blow up. Yeah.
Like,
Yeah.
but it's just so bizarre to me that that's the comeback of like, well, you're super ugly. It's like, but
It's like
you,
a 5-year-old's response. Like,
yeah, it's so weird.
oh
Mhm.
my God.
It's such like
Yeah.
a selfish thing too, a little bit of like I feel like a lot of relationships should be like you want to be like involved with another person. It's like, oh, that person doesn't want to be involved. Oh, they're just doing it to hurt me. Not because
Right.
they're not interested. They're trying to spite me.
Yeah. And I've seen it to an extreme level, and I want to hear y'all's thoughts on this. But like where sometimes it'll go into like TV shows and not just how they treat women in real life, but they'll be like if they find like a female character on a TV show that they don't find attractive, they'll like shit talk her a lot. So like I know two guys who I'm gonna use a specific example of High School Musical, the musical, the series, the greatest show known to man. That, um
Probably the
the
other
character,
check mark on your bingo sheet.
of course, yeah, just wait. We'll reference
Miraculous.
the other one later. But
Avatar, video games.
oh my God, Star Wars. That should get someone bingo. But yeah, so the character Ashlyn, right? Like I know two guys who don't find her attractive in any way, and so they like shit on her character. And it's like there's only one instance in which I think it's fair to be annoyed by her character, and it's that she was like, everybody hates me when no one hated her, and then the moment someone hated her, she was like, nobody hates me, and that just doesn't make sense, and that was poor writing.
Yeah.
But like that's the only time her character has ever been like
Mhm.
annoying. And so it's like I like, but I know so many, like not so many is two, but I know two guys who are like, God, she's the worst. Like I hate her. Like I hate her character. Like since season one, where like in season one she was great. Like she was one of the best.
She's great. I've only
Yeah, like
seen
she's
season one, and I really liked her character.
yeah,
Yeah.
she's EJ's like moral compass in season one. Like she's good, and so it's like fun, and like they hated her in it, and it's like, but they loved the rest of the women, and it's like very very clear that they're like just attracted to like Olivia Rodrigo, and it's like
Yeah.
that's weird. I don't
I was
like
gonna
that.
say it's weird. It's weird for me to even think that person's attractive. They're like 16.
Right.
I know they're not.
Yeah, they're all
16,
children,
but they do
though. Like,
look 16.
Mhm.
Like,
I'm pretty sure Olivia Rodrigo in season one is 16.
oh really? I thought she was 20 now.
I'm pretty sure. No, she's 18 now.
she's
She
only
just turned
18.
18.
Dang.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's
Yeah.
weird to me like that's like be
It's
like,
weird.
man, isn't that girl attractive? It's like, but she's, even if she isn't, she's playing a 16-year-old. Is that not weird for
Right.
you?
Yeah.
Yeah. And like
I was
Gina's
gonna
character, I'm pretty sure is only 14. Like she's young.
say.
Like she's
Oh,
the youngest
jeez.
actress. Yeah. But I don't like it. People should like respect people regardless of whether or not they want to have sex with them. Hot take?
I was gonna
I
say
don't
I
know.
wasn't a huge fan of Ashlyn in season 2. Not to like change to a discussion thing. I was gonna say the
That's
one
fine.
thing I really didn't like is
Mhm.
like she wrote that like duet for like 3 people
Oh, that's
and
right.
sort of just
Yeah.
sprung it on her and was
Right.
like, Gina, you're not gonna be a part of it. What?
And then she was upset about that. Yeah, that was weird. I will say season 2 is not a good example. I'm more
Exactly.
upset about the people who didn't
Season
like her
1
in
show,
season
she was
1.
great.
Yeah, but also season 2 sucked for everyone.
Yeah.
So
I
but yeah.
as an example of that, well,
Mhm.
maybe not exactly, but not the exactly of like you don't like a character just because you don't find them attractive. But I've
Sure.
seen too of people who don't like a character because she's a woman. There was a
Oh,
post
totally.
like a TikTok I saw recently of someone. There was like a Twitter thread of like what's your least favorite Marvel character, and
Mhm.
someone went movie by movie and listed their least favorite character in each movie, and wouldn't you know it, it was the
All women.
women character in each movie, and it was like, do you just
Do
not
you
like women?
connect with it? Right. Oh my god.
And that's
Fair.
very common that people like. You'll see that. I mean, there was that like the famous Vine of like the the female Ghostbusters. The feminists are taking over.
I'm an adult
Yeah.
virgin.
But there's like a big trend of people hating movies just because of women
Yeah.
leads, and it's really bizarre.
It's garbage.
You know
Like,
what's weird? Sort of on this like film media discussion.
yeah.
Star Wars. Any internet Star Wars discussion is always terrible. But in
Sure.
particular, anything bad in Star Wars, they're like, oh, it's like this lady Kathleen Kennedy, who's the head of Lucasfilm. And
They
like
trash her.
they're like, oh, it's all her fault. And it's like, I don't know what this lady does. Same with
I
like,
swear to God, she
yeah.
has like such minimal, like
Mhm.
actual impact. Like, there's
Yeah.
so many people in Lucasfilm as a company that to just blame one because she's a woman is
Yeah, that's it
idiotic.
exactly. It's like they need something to blame it on, but also then it's
Mhm.
like if something's good, it's like she never gets credit
She
for it.
never gets credit. Yeah.
And like in a way, I think she's sort of like so Kevin Feige is like
Uh-huh.
sort of the head of like all the Marvel movies, so he
Mhm.
sort of
Right.
coordinates a lot of that. And like anytime
Hmm.
like something's good with that, everyone's like, yeah, he did great. And it's like, what did he do?
Hmm.
Why does he get all the praise?
Right. So like people do get praise for this if they're male.
Mhm.
And then another thing that I've noticed, because sorry to anyone who thought this wasn't gonna turn into a movie talk, but it is. Haha, we got you.
Bamboozled.
I'm about to talk about Star Wars and Tarantino.
Oh my god.
We tricked ya.
I have an ace in the hole to switch it back to our actual topic, but I'll wait for this to play out.
Okay, thanks. But so my thing about it is like the thing that I thought you were gonna say is that there's a lot of reasons to hate the sequel trilogy. So many reasons. I could name 1,000 reasons that are totally valid to hate the
we had
sequel
a
trilogy.
podcast about it.
We had like
Yeah.
3. But like I gotta be honest, Ray isn't one of them.
No,
Like
she's
she
the
is
best part of the. Well, maybe
she's
not
no
the
worse
best,
than
but
Luke.
she's great.
Yeah, like she's no worse than Luke as far as being an interesting lead. Like they're not meant to be interesting leads. Like the prequel trilogy is different because you're meant to try to learn more and more about Anakin. But like Luke is a bit of a Mary Sue, just in the same way Rey is, and they're
Mhm.
both supposed to be this type of main character that's blank enough that you can put yourself in their shoes.
Yeah, it's very much the like audience surrogate thing of like
Yeah,
these people don't
yeah.
know anything about the universe, so you, the audience, are them pretty much.
Mhm.
There's enough of a character to be a character, and I mean I think Rey's a really great character.
Yeah.
So I wouldn't say she's like so blank to just
Sure.
imprint whoever, but she is
Uh-huh.
blank enough for the audience
That
to
most people
relate with
can.
everybody.
Yeah.
And
Mhm.
that's a problem with, not necessarily a problem, but it happens with a lot of things. I mean,
Yeah.
like Harry Potter
It
is a
does.
good example of like
That was my example
like
too, yeah.
Harry's my favorite character in the books, but he is
Mhm.
the audience surrogate, and so he can suffer a little bit from that in respects of he has to take that role of knowing
super
nothing and
common,
being
yeah.
kind of an idiot because the audience
Yeah.
doesn't know anything, so he has to take
Right.
that on.
Exactly.
But you can't criticize a character because that's the storytelling device that they occupy. That's the whole
Mhm.
reason. Like that's how stories work. You need something like that.
Mhm.
That's not
Absolutely.
a
And
reason a character is bad.
it's crazy how like all these people became character experts in Star Wars once a woman got involved because it's like
Right?
Yeah.
Yeah. And
apparently
once they
Sand
cared
being
about
coarse
that,
and rough was good character development.
once the only woman in there wasn't in a chainmail bikini, suddenly it's wrong.
And people like
Anyway.
Boba Fett had no lines in his first
Boba
movie
Fett,
or like at all really. And
until
people are like, yeah,
Mandalorian.
that's a great character. And it's like,
Yeah.
all right.
Mandalorian, I got it, right?
Yeah.
Because it's like he was really cool in Mandalorian. I get why people like him. But before that, it was just every fanboy's like, ooh, he's so exciting, even though he's like nothing. Like he had zero impact. And his like ending was to just be thrown into the Starlight Pit by a blind man. Like that's the one you're gonna worship. Anyway,
Mhm.
my other thing was Tarantino. Because I've gotten into a fight with a lot of guys recently about they think that Tarantino is a feminist. And I can't stress enough how every Tarantino movie ends in a woman being beaten within an inch of her life. So I just don't think that's true.
I don't think I've ever seen a Tarantino movie, but I am not
So-
sure what gives them that impression. Because
Right. Well, it's
also they're
because-
all pretty like male leads, like male dominated movies, aren't they?
Largely like Jackie Brown isn't. You have
Okay.
Kill Bill.
Kill
Oh,
Bill.
Kill
Bill
Bill, that's
2.
true.
Yeah, you could
That's the main
argue.
reason why.
Right. Well, so yeah. So the thing about Tarantino is that he is like known in the film industry as making revenge porn. Like that's his big thing of like Inglorious Bastards was like, what if we killed Hitler? Like, you know, like before he Hitlered. Like you know, it's like it's meant to be like it's meant to be like, what if we got away with it? Like Once Upon a Time in Hollywood is what if instead of Sharon Tate getting murdered, they went to the wrong house and then the Manson murderers like they got killed kind of thing. Like it's supposed to be like what if kind of stories, and like Kill Bill is all about how like again I can't stress enough how this isn't feminist, but we'll get into that in a second. But it's like it's all about how like a woman was sexually violated for a large part of her life, and then again when she like woke up from a coma, and then she went and killed a bunch of men. And it's like this whole thing, right? And it's like bad. It's not good. But like it's the reason that they'll argue that he's feminist is because the women will kill the men sometimes. Like women kill men.
It's a
Yay!
very
And
low
it's like
bar.
the women get beat within an inch of their life, but then the man slips up a little and like or is just an idiot, and like he dies, so the women like win, and that makes Tarantino a feminist. Which it doesn't.
I was gonna say that's an interesting fact. I really like Django.
Yeah, Django is good. I want to be clear. A lot of Tarantino movies really well done. He's done so much for like film in general. Like his movies have so much influence on modern cinema, and it's fascinating to watch them as a historical thing. But people will argue that Tarantino is not racist and he's a feminist, and I just don't believe either of those because he has also written himself into tons of his scripts to say the N word.
Yeah.
And it's like that doesn't seem like a thing a not racist guy would do. So I don't know. That's my Tarantino rant. You can do your transition Adam, if you want.
Oh,
I won't make us
well,
talk about Tarantino.
This is pretty much a whole other topic, but I was thinking about from before, there's like kind of a trend, I guess, amidst people hating women characters, of people hating attractive women, which I was going to talk about particularly because I see it a lot on TikTok. So on TikTok, there's a common type of video, usually called a thirst trap, which is not necessarily just girls. I've seen guy ones too.
That was the most technical way to bring up thirst traps that I've ever heard.
You know, I'm making it palatable, giving a dictionary definition.
But
Yes, yeah. You know, it's just people who are attractive doing attractive things. And the whole point is that they're attractive. That's the whole video.
Right.
But on virtually every video with a woman in it, you will find a lot of people in the comments talking about how awful this person is, or just like I see a common one of like, oh, I never want a daughter, about like just all these like negative comments about attractive women. And it's really weird because men are generally attracted to women. So it's a very weird position to take to be anti-sexy women when they're being attractive and you are presumably attracted to this thing to then be like, man, this woman is terrible and I would hate to know or be related to anyone like you. And it's like,
Yeah.
And like,
what is
it's
this?
amazing.
It's so bizarre to me.
Yeah.
The same thing is happening because I've noticed. So OnlyFans is now doing like no sex.
Yeah,
They're
they're
still letting
banning
like nudity on
pornography.
it, but like actual sex is still like is banned, but nudity isn't. Whole thing. They're like slowly transitioning to being like somewhat more PG,
You
right?
know, a real hard
Um,
sell from their
That
porn
is really
platform to
it
not
was a
having
porn
porn.
platform, and
It
so
was
but
the
like
only
the
thing
thing
that
is,
was on it, but
I
they were
saw
forced to.
so
There was no other way.
oh yeah, I saw so many tweets and so many like Instagram posts from guys being like, all of those OnlyFans girls are gonna have to make a real living now. And it's like, listen, sex work is a real living. You just don't like it because it's a woman being in control of her own sexuality. Like that's the only reason you don't like it. Because you're watching porn for free on Pornhub. You're just like, and you're not judging those women for some reason. But then,
Or
like, as soon as a
even
woman is like making her own money from it,
Mhm.
like,
even like I imagine, and obviously I don't know this, but I imagine some of those same people who are like, "Wow, this is awful," probably
use it.
use OnlyFans or
Yeah,
pay for pornography,
absolutely.
or if they don't,
Yeah.
like follow these models on their Instagrams or try
Right.
to like pirate their content somewhere. Like
Yeah.
I'm sure they are looking
Consuming
at
porn.
these
Yeah.
these pornographic pictures of these models and then getting mad that they're making money off of it. It's
I
like,
Right.
think
That's
what is
yeah.
this?
I think going back to those nice guy things, it's like getting
mhm.
mad because like you can't have it. Maybe
Fair. Yeah. That makes a lot of
just to
sense.
psychoanalyze here. I don't know.
No, yeah.
That's
It's
just my
just
theory.
I get that, yeah. I really think that it is just this garbage double standard that they have of like, oh, I'll like catcall a girl on the beach when she's in a bikini, but then like how dare she like try to make money from that same exact outfit?
Oh
Like
yeah,
I
that
don't
too.
know. It's just weird.
It's
Like
so strange.
Mhm.
yeah. Oh god. Whole time. Um hang on. I had a few other ones written down.
I've just seen a lot of TikToks making because I don't really see um, those types of videos anymore. I guess I'm on a I don't know. You just don't see it as much. I think I've said this, but I'm pretty much on lesbian TikTok, so you don't get as many men making disgusting comments about women. Um,
Right.
but I do see people making fun of that, and
Intrigued.
it's always talking about how like you're really doing a lot to convince people that you really aren't attracted to women when you
Yeah,
do say you're attracted to women. So what's going on here?
Mm-hmm.
even if like here's what I don't understand. If you have this nice guy mentality of like, oh, I need to be nice to someone to get a girl,
Right.
why do you stop it?
Why? Right. And then also like it's I don't know. It's just the whole thing we said of just like you should just be nice to people because they're people.
Yeah.
Hot take. But something you had said about the daughter thing on those comments
Mhm.
reminded me of like I I know so many guys who do this thing that like it on surface level doesn't necessarily seem bad, but like if you think about it for any longer than 1 second, I feel really grossed out by it, and I want your opinion on it.
Okay.
Is like when guys are like, if I have a daughter, I'm gonna be like so protective of her. Like I'm not gonna let her date any guys. Like I've seen like a lot of like memes about like guys
The
with a
guy with the
shotgun
gun
be
in the
like,
photo.
yeah, yeah, and it's like all of this and everything like that. What are y'all's thoughts on that vibe?
That's very strange.
Yeah,
Okay.
it's always weird to me. It's always weird to me, and I don't see that a lot with people our generation. But it was weird to me back in the day when people would talk about like dads would do that, or
Hmm.
or like wear shirts or something. Like you'd see that on the internet.
Right.
Yeah.
It was always weird to me of like, why are you so controlling? But
Yeah,
only
that's what it
over
feels
your
like.
daughters and
Only
not
over daughters.
over your sons. It's like sons can do whatever
Exactly.
they
Yeah.
want, but not your
Yeah.
daughters.
That and
Uh-huh.
like, what's that say to the daughter of like, oh, like dad doesn't trust your judgment?
Hmm.
Yeah. Absolutely. I think it takes away any autonomy she could have.
Yeah.
And it's upsetting. Cool. Glad that's not just me.
Oh
Sometimes I
no, yeah.
worry about that kind of stuff where I'm like, am I just being like too like sensitive about certain things? So I like to double check. Be like, just me?
Mhm.
No, that
Don't
one
know.
always weirds me out.
Yeah, I don't know. I had an ex do that at some point. Like he sent them all as like memes. Like it was never like him specifically saying like, "Oh, I want to like beat up a guy who's into my daughter," but it would like be memes about dads who had done that, and like he would always be like, "LOL, me," and I'm like, I don't like that.
Slightly concerning.
Anyone
Right.
about like beating someone up, I don't think I'd ever say
Right.
LOL me.
Oh my god, no, that one was scary because it was like a dad who had like killed her like his daughter's like boyfriend that was like mean to her or something. Like he wasn't a good
Mhm.
boyfriend, like let's be clear. I don't know what he did to her at this point and I don't want to say anything of the dead man. But the father killed him and he was like, me as a dad. I was like, oh, that's not great.
Really a good. You were just waving some really welcoming flags all over the place to be like, I am definitely down for murder
Right. I
in
so
like a
want to have children
serious
with
way.
you. Oh my god. Fair. Lord. Okay, guys who pressure other people to drink. Um even other
Yes.
guys. Thoughts? Or do I need to say
Yeah.
more?
I mean,
No, I
uh,
definitely have thoughts on that of like,
Okay, let's hear it.
if you're gonna drink, one,
Ah.
drink responsibly. Oh no.
Margot died.
The camera fell.
Sorry.
Like if
I
you're gonna
know.
drink responsibly, but also like drink at your own pace, and like it is fun to have like drinking games and parties and
Yeah,
stuff like
yeah.
that. But also like you sort of set like a limit of like I
Mhm.
want to get like drunk between like this perimeter and this perimeter.
Right. It's a spectrum, and people
Yeah.
typically like if they drink know that for themselves.
Mhm.
And so like I know that I can get tipsy very fast, but then it's a very long time before I start to feel bad. And like I know how like quickly I can drink and how like much I can drink between that so that I don't get sloppy. But like I think my thing about it is it's like drinking games are fun. Like I enjoy drinking. And it's like a fun time if you're in a good crowd. What I don't like is the guys who will like make fun of me for having a low tolerance. I'm like I'm literally like a foot shorter than you and like at least 20 pounds lighter than you. What do you expect? Like that's how tolerance works. I'm
Mhm.
tiny. And so like I don't like it. And I've seen them like do it with other guys too, where they're like, "Oh, bro, you're such a lightweight," like blah blah blah, and everything like that. And it's like, I like, who cares? Like, isn't it more fun to be a lightweight because you like don't have to spend as much money and you like get like
Yeah.
drunk quicker? Like, isn't that better? Like, I don't know. I enjoyed it, but I don't like the guys who are like, "Ugh, like I can drink so much more than you." It's like, yeah, obviously. I'm sorry you have to spend like $20 more. Like,
Also, it's like they're one of my favorite memes from the past few years is the weird flex, but okay, and that's that.
right.
It's like
That's that.
weird flex, but all right
Yeah.
then.
Yeah.
Why? Who cares if you can drink more or it takes more for you to get drunk? Why does that matter?
Mhm.
Right. And like it's also just like if you're playing a drinking game, like I don't know. It goes back to I guess the same thing about people caring too much about sports. Like when people get too competitive over things, it's just not fun. And so if you're like, "Oh, I'm going to make you drink so much." It's like honestly, high key, I'm going to drink water if you're making me drink a lot. Like I'm not going to like down a bunch of
Yeah,
alcohol if I
it's
don't feel
absolutely
comfortable
that
doing
thing of
so.
like if you start
Like
caring a lot, I start caring a little,
I stopped
or I
caring. Yeah.
stop caring at all, and that's yeah. I'm
Mhm.
just not competitive at all, so that always happens. But
Right.
yeah,
Yeah. I love, so I have like a group of people that are like that, right? That we're just not competitive people. And so I love playing drinking games with them because then it's like no one cares too much. So if at
Mhm.
any point anyone isn't vibing, we're all like, okay, like let's do something else kind of thing. And it's just more fun and more
Yeah.
people should do that. Yeah, I don't know. You're so cute when you're mad. That was another thing I had written down of that saying. I hate that. That's a way to piss me off more.
It is weird to do it to someone that you don't necessarily know very well. I feel like, but it's
Yeah.
also it's so diminishing. Like
Yeah.
if you're like mad about something that involves them, especially,
Right.
it's like
Yeah.
you're just kind of refuting their whole position and not acknowledging their feelings at all to do
Yeah.
that.
Right. I feel like it's like I feel like guys think about it as like a like calming down tactic of like what if I flirt with her and then she'll be less mad at me kind of thing. But it like it invalidates you. You're just
Yeah.
like,
Yeah.
but I'm mad for a reason. Like I don't know. I get that a lot and I don't like it. I don't think I'm cute when I'm mad. I think I'm mad when I'm mad. I feel like that should be the only thing acknowledged.
Yeah.
Oh man.
It's very
Yeah.
much not a diffusing technique.
No.
No.
Yeah, it's
Absolutely,
the same
yeah.
as like calm down. Like that's the same thing of
Saying
like
calm down does not calm
yeah,
someone down.
no, never. Because it's kind of like, there's no reason to be as upset as you are. Like that's what you're saying when you're saying that kind of thing, and it's like, yes, there is. What's this is I don't know if you guys have ever had toxic men in your life, but have what is like the most writing off what you're saying thing a guy has said to you when you fight him? Did that make sense? I don't think it did.
Like someone who's just
I'll
not
give an example.
acknowledging you.
You're just being
Yeah.
dramatic.
So that's yeah, I haven't heard that one, but one that I had was I got in a fight with a guy, and we had like called on the phone because we didn't want to like text fight. We were like, let's actually like talk about this, like what's
Yeah.
going on here. And then the next day, like we ended it not well because like they had to go, and so I was like, okay, well I'm still mad, we'll talk tomorrow. And so I texted him the next day and I was like, are you available to talk today, because I do want to like work things out. And he said, I don't know, are you still upset? And I was like, yeah, like yes I am, you've done nothing to fix the situation. Like oh man, I don't know. Oh no, it wasn't that, sorry, the wording was worse. It was I don't know, are you over it yet? That was the wording,
Oh.
and that was bad. Didn't like it. I feel like if you said, are you still upset, I wouldn't have been as mad as I was. But yeah, it was, are you over it yet? It's like clearly not.
And maybe if you were kind of like
Right.
water on the bridge, and you say that, it'd be like, well, not anymore.
Yeah, right? Like it'd
Now
be like,
remembering
"Mad at you to
everything I was
Yeah.
ever mad at you about.
Yeah. Oh my god, I do know a lot of girls who have gotten the "you're being so dramatic" thing.
Yeah.
I've gotten "stop being so sensitive," which is never fun.
I feel like that you're being so dramatic is sort of like what we talked about before, of like just invalidates.
Yeah.
Right. Absolutely.
Kind of all
Yeah.
do. Like that's the whole
Mhm.
tactic.
Yeah, I guess yeah.
Yeah. We should have been psych majors. We all get it.
Gotta switch off this engineering thing.
Right, senior year.
I know. We've
Oh my
really
God.
figured people out, I think.
Honestly, we get it. Oh my lord. Yeah, what a time. I think that there's also a mixture. I don't know if this will be my last thing or not. I'll try to make it my last thing because I know we're coming up on time. But I think I kind of also have mixed feelings on the guys like protecting girls thing, because it's like on some level, obviously, like unfortunately we live in a world in which that protection is sometimes needed, right?
Yeah.
And so it's like I if I'm walking late at night and a guy like who I know offers to walk me home, I'm like, yeah, that'd be appreciated. I don't trust men, but I also don't trust you. And
Yeah.
so I think that's the problem, is it's like it can be kind of scary, and it's like I don't know. And sometimes they go too far. Like after the football incident, where myself and another girl on our team got like hurt, a lot of the guys got aggy on our team towards that guy, and they were like really aggressively like shouting at him. And then one of the refs, who I knew vaguely through you guys, not personally, was like also really aggressive towards that guy. And it's like literally no one asked for it. Like this guy was not like, still coming after me. Like this isn't protection, this is like retribution kind of thing. It's like you don't need to do that. Like if anyone was going to yell at him, I'd like to cuz I'm the one who's got the bloody nose. But like you don't need to like like protect my honor kind of thing of like that. Like that's too
Mhm.
much kind of thing. Like I think that's my mixed feelings on it. Is it's like sometimes I get it, but sometimes it's like you can
Mhm.
stand up for yourself.
Yeah, the
Exactly.
overprotectiveness has always weirded me out. Right now, so this is like not a real life example, but
Sure.
I've been reading this fantasy books, very popular, written by a woman. The main
Mhm.
character is a woman, but the male characters are like fiercely protective of the woman character, and
Right.
it's in the book. It's like played off as some kind of like oh, look how much they love
Like
her,
it's hot.
and yeah,
Right.
but that weirds me out so much, especially like she's a total badass, like she can handle
Mhm.
herself, and
Mhm.
so it's always weird of like I'm gonna go beat this guy up for you. It's like
You don't need to.
that's you don't need to.
Yeah.
She can
Yeah.
do things herself. It's always endlessly, I don't know, off-putting to be like this is
It's
supposed to be like, oh, look how much he loves her, like,
right.
but he's being a little controlling. Like that's kind of what it
It does.
comes across
Yeah.
as to me. Even if it's not controlling, I guess like it is.
Feels it though.
It feels that way of
Yeah.
like, or like that diminishing too. Like, do you not think that she can
Right.
do it herself
So
Mhm.
if
that
she
was
really
something
needed to?
right. Like that was something really nice about like the jujitsu guys at our school is they like so there were probably like maybe 4 girls in the club. But all of the guys would like they weren't like, oh, we'll beat up anyone who like gives you trouble kind of thing. They were like, here's how you like break their arm. And they were like, here's how you do it kind of thing. And it was like that was always a nice vibe because it was like, oh thanks. Like you believe in my power and my ability to take care of this kind of thing. And that was lovely. And it was always like it made me feel much more like appreciated because also especially in a fighting club it would be really insulting if they were like yeah but we'll beat up someone for you kind of thing. It's like that's literally why I'm here. Like I
Mhm.
like what. So yeah, I don't know, it was nice. But a time like it's like I think there's a mix like I said because it's like obviously like late at night especially like in a city if you're gonna like walk me home I'm gonna appreciate it. I don't like the guys who try to walk you up to your room. That creeps me out. That's not okay. Stop
Yeah.
doing that.
It's
I
like,
don't know.
hey,
Don't do
this
that.
is the
Stop.
building.
Right. Leave me at the door. Stop. I have a key. But
You don't need to lock the
yeah,
door for me.
right. Yeah. Oh God. But well, because then it also feels like the nice guy thing of like trying to like get into your room, and it's like this
Mhm.
is what I'm trying to avoid, sir. Yeah. But I don't know.
My tactic is always like, oh, hey, this person's leaving. Let's go walk them out to their car.
Right.
Get
I
like
love
a
it when
group of
like
people.
yeah, that's the best is when a group walks you home because you're like hell yeah,
Yeah.
I'm
I
safe.
try to avoid one person because then it's like I don't
Right.
want it to be like a weird like dynamic.
Yeah. And that's the best. What a world. I don't know. Men are toxic. At time.
Mhm.
Well, yeah, it's probably time, right? Oh,
Yeah,
I got duped last time because you were like, "We're so
I know.
close."
I don't know how much it made it into the episode, but it was very
I did.
my girlfriend listened to it. One of the only episodes she's ever listened to, and she was telling me how weird it was to be like, and now we're wrapping up, and then her
Right.
being like, "What? Is this it? We've only gone for like a half hour," and then there being like 45 more minutes of the podcast. So
I left it all in there because we made fun of you for it, and I was like, it'd be weird if we were just making fun of him for something that wasn't in the episode.
good, as it should
Oh
be.
man.
And that's gonna make it
Right.
into this episode too.
Now it is. Yeah, it's lasting.
Yeah,
Oh
I
man.
fully thought we had started way earlier than we did.
Mhm.
Oh man. Good stuff. Alrighty. Well, other than men, we should talk about what rained on our parades this
Mhm.
week. Oh, the
I gotta say,
police.
we had move-in at our school,
Yeah.
and oftentimes I understand it's stressful, and a lot of people are new and just have a lot of questions.
Right.
But some questions, I feel like people should sort of figure out. Like,
Right.
people be like, hey, where's this thing on campus? And I got to the point of saying, do you have a phone? Do you have maps? If you type in the
Yes.
thing you're looking for, it will show you where
Google
it's at
Maps.
on maps.
Yeah.
It's not
Yeah.
a far walk. Have you thought of this?
I did that so much freshman year, like Googling how to get places.
Yeah, I think I had the map of campus pull up on my phone
Oh,
at all
smart.
times freshman year because I was like,
Yeah.
yeah, I don't. Also, I don't like
Yeah.
asking people for directions
And
because
also,
it
like,
I
makes
feel
me
embarrassed.
anxious.
Yeah.
Yeah, embarrassed. I'm like,
Yeah.
I know it's probably super easy to find. I'm just being an
Right.
idiot.
Yeah, my two things with that is like there was like a map in our lobby of campus that they
Oh,
could have looked at.
true.
And
Yeah.
two, like asking people is the worst because people are often wrong.
That's
and people
true.
also don't give like the best directions.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
So like why not use your phone? It's more accurate.
I'm terrible at directions. Like, even if it's something like simple in my head, I'll be like, you go straight for a little while, and then when you get to the one thing, you like turn, and then you kind of turn after that, and it's like no one should ask me for directions because it's
Yeah.
gonna be that. That's gonna be the directions. Is you go like this for a little bit, and then you change.
Yeah.
Yeah. What a world. Oh my lord.
I had that happen to me today. I'm not an RA anymore. No one should be asking me questions, but it's also move-in. Although they're doing move-in at my school over a week, so
Yeah.
some freshmen are here and some are not. And this like mom and her daughter, who was a freshman, stopped me as I was walking back from class, and they're like, "Where's this thing?" And I was like, "I have no idea," but I wanted to be like, it was something like a parking question. And I know
Yeah.
on the school's website there is an exhaustive and expansive list of in text form and various maps that are color coded of where everything is located.
Mm-hmm.
That seems like the place to go.
Yeah.
But then I also
Absolutely.
directed them because I knew I was headed to like an information desk thing to pick up a parking pass. And so I was like,
Smart.
they'll know I'm
Yeah.
headed there, like it's just right over
Besties,
here.
come with me.
And then
Yeah.
they were like, "Oh, that sounds good," and then it went the opposite direction. I was like, "Well, you're
Forget
welcome
me.
for
Yeah.
for trying to help you out," and you just being like, "Okay."
Have you guys ever, so like, I don't know if this is a small town thing, so maybe Ryan will relate to this more than Adam will, but like, have you guys ever had someone like in a car while you're like walking down the street, like stop and be like, "Hey, you, tell me how to get here"?
Oh yeah,
Like,
that's happened.
Can you tell
It
me
has.
how to get there?
You're right. That would happen all the time, and they would be like, it would be streets, and I'd be like, "You
Yeah.
think I know
I think
where
that's
the
weird.
street is?
I don't know
Like,
a single
ask for the
street name.
building,
Yeah.
Nothing.
right?
Give me a
I'm not
landmark.
gonna know.
I'll
You
tell you
have
where that
maps
is.
on your phone.
Right.
The maps.
You know what's
Oh,
always, this is
man.
only we're getting off topic, but what's
That's
always
fine.
funny to me is when you ask a parent or an older adult for directions, and they're like, "Yep, you take this street down to this street down to this street,"
Right.
and I'll
they
be
go
like,
streets.
"I just
What?
need the address to put it into
Right.
Google Maps."
Yeah.
I'm tuning out the second you're like, "You take this a mile and this a mile." I'm like, I'm gone. Just give me the
I hate
address.
it.
Yeah.
I hate it when they do that with like highways too. Like they'll be like, you get on 95, then you get a 495, and you like go to like 15, and it's like, what? Huh? Where? Like, how am I supposed to know how to do that?
It's
No.
also really interesting to me if you tell an older person like, "Oh, we went this place," and they'll be like, "Oh, how'd you get there? Did you take this highway and this highway and this way?" I'm like, I couldn't tell
followed the
you a
I put it
single
in my
thing.
phone, right?
Google Maps was like, "Turn here, take
Yeah.
this exit," and I listened to the robotic voice. I couldn't tell you where I was.
I always go, I think, like with just whatever whatever directions they said. I'm like,
How
yeah,
long?
that
Be like,
sounds
yeah,
right.
that sounds like where I was.
Yeah. Like just to avoid it. Oh my god. So well, right on my parade, my sibling came to visit. It was lovely and it was fun, and I had them bring their cat, or one of them, the nicer one, because I was like, I want to get my cat a cat friend, because sometimes he gets sad, and I'm like, if he had a friend, maybe he wouldn't get sad all the time. Like it'd be nice, like
Yeah.
And so it's mostly because like my mom is going in person to work now, and he like she's his person, so he like gets sad when she's gone. And I think if he had like a little friend, maybe it would be less because he'd have a buddy. But maybe, right? So I was like, I want to test
I
this
don't know about
theory. Like,
cats.
well, like I know a lot of people with multiple cats, and like they all love each other, and so like, um, it was the kind of thing where the cat that was going to be brought into the home has a sister. Like they're like it's a cat that is very good with other cats and a very
Mhm.
submissive cat, which was also good because I was like, my cat might be a jerk. Like I don't know,
Mhm.
because I've never seen him interact with another cat. And so like the cat stayed for the weekend, and my cat was terrified. Like he was so afraid. Like I fully expected him to attack this other cat, and like that was like something that I had warned like uh like my sibling about. I was like, hey, like just a fair warning, like I don't know how he's gonna be, like it might happen. And they were like, oh, don't worry, like his sister is the alpha, like he's used to like being submissive as soon as possible so that like he doesn't get attacked, kind of thing. Like he's used to not being the top of the food chain, not a problem, like he'll be really good in that kind of position. And I was like, oh
Mhm.
great. But my cat was so afraid. Like he like they were both black cats too, and like male black cats, so they looked alike. And so at first I think that my cat thought he was seeing his reflection a few times. And he loves his reflection because he's a little narcissist. Like he stares into mirrors and like glass all the time because he likes looking at himself.
Mhm.
And so at first he was interested and he walked towards it, but then they like touched noses and he jumped back and was just like scared. And he kept like kind of coming out to like see the other cat and be like, you still here? Like what? And it was just a whole world. And then like a day after they left, my cat came into my room again, which was where the other cat stayed overnight so that my cat could like roam the house freely at night. And so he was really nervous because he was expecting the other cat to be in here. And he like very gently laid down next to me, and like you know how cats like knead when they're nervous.
Mhm. Making
And
biscuits.
so yeah, like they're just making little biscuits. So he started like doing that against my leg. Like he did not close his eyes, and it was very like gentle and anxious because he was just like, "Is he here?" Like, like, and I was like, "Buddy, I'm so sorry. Like, I'll never do that to you again."
That's really funny.
Oh my god, yeah. Oh well. How about you, Adam?
I don't know if I have anything specific. I guess a general one about people who aren't getting the vaccine. Get the stupid vaccine. You're being
Now
an idiot.
FDA
It's
approved.
FDA approved. You have no excuses. You didn't have even excuses before, but you
No,
have even fewer now. Get
sick of
it.
it.
You're being
Get it.
dumb.
And you're
Um,
being selfish.
and
Like,
you're being
I'll say
selfish.
it. You're mean. Yeah.
You're being mean, selfish. You ruin it
Yeah.
for everybody. I'd go so far and say at every single person who dies in America is
Your fault.
anti-vaxxers' fault. If you have not gotten the vaccine yet, it's been free for so long, easily accessible. That's on you. Completely
That's another
your
thing.
fault.
Side note, don't let a clinic tell you that you have to pay for it. It's free.
No,
It's
it's
free
free.
everywhere. Don't let a clinic tell you that, because that's the thing that happened a few times.
wow.
Like I saw news reports of clinics were trying to charge people for it, and that's completely illegal.
Illegal.
Say yeah, like all of those clinics apparently, like it only took one person being like, no, I'm not gonna pay for that, and then they were like, oh yeah, of course not. So like just tell them it's fine. Like you should still get it. But yeah, I'm mad at people.
Yeah, me
And
too.
also, Delta's only going to get worse. All of the other variants are only going to get worse if
Mhm.
you don't get vaccinated.
It's so easy.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's my
That's
general
another
anger.
dingo. Yeah.
Also, people who are not bad drivers, aggressive drivers.
Oh my
My
god.
girlfriend and I went down to Chicago to the Museum of Science and Industry, and
Ooh.
Very exciting.
Chicago drivers are very aggressive, but they'll also do like stupid things. Well, they'll go into an exit and then like at the last second before they are going to run into a wall, they'll swerve out of the exit back into the regular traffic, and you're like, what is happening? People are gonna die. Drivers like cruise at high speeds down the shoulder to get through traffic, and you're like, what is going on? Why are you like this?
Mind you, like when I'm driving on highways, it's typically going to be like a country highway around here. Like unless I'm going into DC, like any of the other directions are much more country. So it's like maybe me and like two other drivers for like long stretches, right? And someone did that to me like a few weeks ago, and like they almost backed into my car because they were like fully just unsending from that exit. And it was like, this is the type of exit that you can just go right back onto. Like it's across the street. What are you doing? Like I get if you made a mistake, but like this is dangerous.
Mhm.
Like I was scary. Didn't like it. Can't
Yeah.
recommend. I'm a bad driver, but like I'm not like that.
Mhm.
No.
I don't know.
It's also that thing of the causing problems for everybody else, because like that's why traffic
Yeah.
exists, is because of people like that. Like we wouldn't, besides like construction and
Sure.
like misplaced exits or merges and stuff, but just
Mhm.
if you're just on open road traffic, that's aggressive drivers, and otherwise we wouldn't have that.
My absolute least favorite thing when driving, and it happens every time I drive on this one highway, just without fail, because it's when a 3 lane goes down into a 2 lane, and so you have to get over. It's like right lane ends in 500 feet or
Yeah,
whatever
it
it
tells
says,
you
you know?
well in advance.
Yeah, well in advance. And it's these people who like so I always leave like 2 cars length
Yeah.
on those types of roads because I'm like, everyone should get in here so that we don't cause a slowdown. Like, let's be
Mhm,
kind,
mhm.
let's do this. And like they'll speed right past that, even though it's a largely open spot, and they'll try to get in at the very end where they have to get in. And it's like, you're just causing problems.
Yep, that's
Like,
my
what
other
are you
pet peeve.
doing? Yeah.
'Cause, yeah, I do exactly that. Like, I'll always leave space for people as they're merging, and then people will
Mhm.
like blatantly be like, "Yeah, I'm not taking that," and then go down the very end
Right.
and have to force people to get over at the last second. It's like, why?
So we've talked about this before. Like we're people who talk while we drive, and so
Mhm.
like that's something that I'll always do. Is I'm like if they actually come in, I'll be like, oh, so you're a
Oh,
nice
what's this person
person.
doing here?
You're a jerk. Like,
What I love
as
is
they
someone
pass.
does something super. This happens more on like not highway, so like just regular driving,
Mhm.
but people who do something super aggressive, cut you off, and then you'll wind up at the same stoplight at them, and you'll be like,
Look at you
"Oh,
now.
look at you! Look how little time you saved." I
Oh
drove
man.
the speed limit, did nothing, and here we are,
Right.
sitting in
Just
the
pull up
same
next to him,
position.
like
Look over.
the time.
Oh, that's funny. Oh my god. Alrighty, well, don't be a jerk while driving, and don't
Mhm.
be a jerk in general,
Yeah.
because that's what most of this episode has been about is jerks. But yeah, have a sunny Wednesday.
Bye.
Bye.